Hey guys, what's up? How we doing? I'm back. Second video in a week. Can we get some W's in the chat, please?
W's in the chat.
Ignore the fact that this is a scripted and a pre-recorded video, by the way. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you so soon. But yeah, we back. Just getting some more videos out before I have to inevitably go back to school. This summer hasn't been the most productive for me, but neither has the other 365 days of the past year, so it is what it is, man. I got through my first year of college unscathed. That's about as much of an achievement as I got.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
But you know, we don't look back at the past. We only live in the present. And right now, we got an old head to make fun of. Now, the old head in question today might stir up some shit, but who cares? I'm just here to talk about it. And that person is Tyler, the Creator. Now, let's have a talk. Now, recently, Tyler, the Creator, was in an interview with Mav Carter. And in that interview, he said some things about Ian. And if you don't know who Ian is, he's a white rapper. That's pretty much all there is to say about it. People, including Tyler, have criticized for sounding like Future or Gucci Mane. You know, kind of just gentrifying that hip-hop sound from the South.
Regular, like, Caucasian man. And he's, like, mocking Future and Gucci Mane, like, rap music. And, like, people are like, this shit hard. It's not even, like, satire. It's like, I'm just joking. I'm just mocking it. But I'm like, no, you can't. Dude, and I hold rap music so close to my heart because this shit changed my life and everyone's life around me, and I'm a nerd about this shit.
Which, you know, me personally, I've never really gotten in his music. If anything, I think he sounds more like Yeet, which isn't a compliment, by the way. He just sounds like Yeet with less sauce.
It ain't right if I fake what's true. If I looked in the mirror and saw your ass, I probably would hate me too. That ball. For what they said about me, they don't know nothing, please.
Just a dry-ass, bland version of Yeet. You know, like if Yeet was a home-cooked breakfast from your grandma, complete with the eggs, the sausage, the bacon, the buttery biscuits, all that shit, Ian is basically just a Popeye's biscuit compared to that. Just bland and flavorless. And you know, people might eat it and enjoy it, but it's never gonna be their first choice. Like, nigga, I'm taking Pillsbury dough biscuits out the can over Popeyes for sure. Fuck is they talking about? Now, this little segment that I want to talk about is part of a longer interview with Mav Carter. If you don't know, the original interview was about 30 minutes and they talk about a lot more stuff. I'll leave a link to the original interview down below if you want to watch it, because they do go into other more interesting topics, but none of them are particularly as noteworthy or as, you know, easy to make fun of as this one, especially when you consider that every other YouTuber right now is focusing on it as well. You know, I can't be late to the bandwagon, guys. Come on. So basically, in this segment of the interview, Tyler goes over Ian and what he thinks of him as a rapper and what impact a guy like Ian could have on hip hop as a whole, especially when you consider he's getting industry backing from Lil Yachty. And everyone knows that where there's smoke, there's fire. And when there's a Lil Yachty, there's a Drake. So it's only a matter of time before Drake definitely hops on his wave, just like how he's done in recent times with artists like Yeet, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, the list goes on. Tyler does raise a really good point of the fact that Ian is just a regular Caucasian male. There's nothing really special about him or noteworthy about him. Nothing about his rapping or the way he dresses or the way he looks particularly stands out to anybody. So why is he getting so much traction? I think we all know why. If you don't know why, well, Tyler just laid it out for you in the interview. So again, go watch that, link in description. But as much as I don't want to be that guy, I am going to come to Ian's defense on 2 points.
I looked in the mirror and saw your ass, I probably would hate me too.
First point being that Ian is very young, okay? He's still very early in his career. We don't know where he might go artistically. If anything, the fact that he started popping off now, or this early into his career, means that if he does play his cards right and gets around the right people, he could evolve into a pretty decent artist over the next coming years. Is that gonna happen? Probably not. But the way I'm seeing Ian right now as a rapper, he could either go in the direction of a Jack Harlow or a Mac Miller. Jack Harlow, of course, being a white rapper that burst onto the scene and almost immediately started making the most bland pop rap songs that you have ever heard. And there's a very obvious reason why all of his mediocre records keep topping the charts. That is a Caucasian man. He has more push in any genre of music than anybody else, bruh. Especially in a black dominated space that exists in a mostly white area of the world. Like, I know the CIA was probably doing backflips when Lovin' On Me went #1, despite the fact that that song is so ass. You heard it here first, folks. Jack Harlow is a CIA industry plant meant to lower the quality of black art. That's a conspiracy theory, but I would 100% buy into it. But again, like I said, Ian could also go in the route of somebody like a Mac Miller, who came out on the scene and wasn't that well received. You know, he was liked by his core fan base, but the broader spectrum of music critics and hip-hop fans alike both found him to be kind of corny when he did come up on the scene. Earlier work obviously wasn't looked upon that favorably by critics, and a lot of people did just kind of write him off as another white cornball in hip-hop. It wasn't really until he dropped Swimming that we started to see a shift in the way people viewed Mac Miller. And I draw that similarity with Mac Miller because, again, Ian is somebody who is very early in his career. I don't know if you guys know this, but the earliest song that Ian has on streaming services was G63, and he dropped that 2 years ago. 2 years ago in 2022. That's when his first song hit streaming services. That's when the first Ian plane hit the Spotify towers. But again, like I said, if he does stay around the right people and find the right people to work with, there is a very real possibility that he becomes a decent rapper in the future. You know, someone that we can all actually listen to and say, you know what, this isn't that bad. Fuck was Tyler on a few years ago. And all he has to do that is stay away from Drake and his label. But is he gonna do that? Obviously not, because he's already been infiltrated by Lil Yachty. Or you never know, he might take the secret third option and end up like Post Malone, cosplay as a black person for his first couple of years, get as much success as he can from that, and then completely switch the genre that he makes, like a dickhead. And I really hope he doesn't do that, because that would make him a culture vulture. And we do not like vultures over here, man. A little side note, by the way, since we're on the topic, I cannot believe that Post Malone actually successfully pulled that off. And not only that, I can't believe that we let him do it. Like, this nigga really came up on the scene, made rap music, or at least made rap adjacent music for like the first 8 years of his career, and then completely flipped and did country and started dancing for the whites. And I say the whites like Post Malone isn't a white person, and this probably should have been expected, but holy shit, it broke my heart. After that whole incident, Post Malone became the first and so far the only artist that I make a conscious effort not to listen to. And that's saying a lot, because I still listen to Kanye. That should show how forgiving I am when it comes to separating the art from the artist. You know what I'm saying? At least MGK retired from hip hop because Eminem mauled his hip hop career to the ground. But Post Malone is straight up just a culture vulture. Like, holy shit, you made me look so stupid, Post. Like, you really broke my heart, Post. But don't come back to hip hop. We're never taking you back here.
I have a song. When I started balling, I was young.
God damn, I missed that shit, bruh. Fuck. Why'd you have to do that to me, Posty? Anyways, back to defending white people.
I looked in the mirror and saw your ass. I probably would hate me too.
The second point that I wanted to bring up was the fact that Tyler, the Creator, isn't exactly the best artist to be leveling points like this against Ian. Mostly because, and I know people are going to hate this, but bear with me, Tyler, the Creator's early discography wasn't that much better than Ian's, if we're being honest. Like, sure, maybe some people could cope and say that they saw the artistic vision with Tyler, the Creator's weird horrorcore rap that he did when he was a teenager. But need I remind you, this is the same nigga that when he was Ian's age would rap about raping pregnant women.
Rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome.
And he wants to be mad that this little white kid sounds like Future. Like, come on, man. And that kind of ties into my point about letting Ian's music run its course. Because, like, imagine if people wrote Tyler off this badly when he was making that type of music. We would never have gotten the amazing artistical evolution that is Tyler, the Creator. And I don't know where I would be in life without Tyler's last 4 albums, so I'm glad that he didn't get written off. At the same time, I wouldn't want him to do that to another young artist, though it's an artist that I don't personally listen to. Which, on another side note, I've never listened to Ian's music ever. Well, that was a bit of a lie. I've heard it, but I would never listen to it on a day-to-day basis. I've heard 3 songs of his, one of them being the biggest song off of his debut album called Magic Johnson. That's the name of the song, by the way. The name of the album is Valedictorian. But long story short, that song is ass. I listened to the song that he dropped with Lil Yachty called Hate Me. Also ass. I also listened to the song that he dropped with Vaughn off 1700. Which was also ass. So yeah, trust me, I'm not an Ian fan. I think his music is like garbage. And also, I did listen to G63 while I was making this video, you know, just to see what his earliest work sounded like. Not great either. Kind of makes me feel bad about making this video because I'm sort of defending him, even though I would never listen to his music in real life. But, you know, like I said, let the music run its course. I'm just not the target audience. And I can see why people would have problems with Ian, despite the fact that he's had no controversies and he hasn't even been making music that long. I would say that critics are kind of right in saying that music like this waters down the overall value of hip hop. But I don't know how seriously I can take those claims of watering down hip hop when this is the same genre that platformed Ice Spice and Sexy Red. So I don't think I'm buying it. Like, bro, I would just love to take a peek into the alternate universe where Sexy Red is white. Like, holy shit, niggas would be ripping their hair out. But I can definitely see how people might take an issue with his whiteness, considering how fast he blew up with the quality of his music. Like, at some point, we just have to address the elephant in the room. Ian is only at the point he is right now because he is white. It is because of his whiteness. It is because of his caucasity. That is fine. It's okay to admit that. Again, the best parallel I can draw to this is Jack Harlow, who fully leaned into the fact that he was a white rapper, and look at where it got him. It literally seems like he can't drop a single without it going #1 somehow and just staying there forever. I'm sorry, I'm just still salty about Lovin' On Me. I just can't understand how that song topped the charts and stayed there for that long, bro. It pisses me off. But you know, again, we can only let the music run its course. We can only see where Ian goes from here. He's a very young guy, very young rapper, very new on the scene. So there's a potential that he, you know, again, becomes like a Mac Miller. But at the end of the day, only time will tell. And we can only wait and see what he does with his career. Please stay away from Drake, Ian. I'm begging you. I know you already got in contact with Lil Yachty. Just stay away from that Canadian, for the love of God. And in regards to what Tyler said, again, I don't think Ian's trying to mock Future. If anything, he sounds more like Yeet than he does Future, like I said before. And Yeet's another Caucasian rapper, so at this point, birds of a feather, you know what I'm saying? Is Yeet even actually Caucasian? What race is Yeet? Oh, he's Mexican. Everything makes sense now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
But the only thing I will say is that the problem that Ian represents with white rappers is something that we've already had for a long time. Again, this is energy that we could be using on so many different rappers. Jack Harlow. But you know, I'm someone who will gladly bring up and talk about the current gentrified state of hip hop and how niggas like Ian are definitely making it worse. But you know, sometimes it has to get worse to get better. Let the music run its course. Anyways, that's all I got for today, guys. To Tyler, the Creator, stop being such a fucking old head.
Are you fucking dumb?
Listen, guys, I promise that was a joke. I'm not a coon. Tyler, I'm a big fan. I love your work, bro. I know you're not going to see this, but I'm just making that very clear. I am not a coon. I am not trying to stand up for Ian. It's jokes. And to Ian, bro, make better music, please. Okay? Like, come on, bro. You're 0-4 in all the songs that I've heard from you so far. And at this point, I'm terrified to listen to the rest of your fucking album. But you know what I'm even more terrified of? The thought of you linking up with Drake.